there's a new silent majority. A new silent majority, and you are a part of that, especially as a chosen one. We live in a world and a time, especially as January has kicked off, especially since we hit January 20th, there's been so many rapid changes that many of us who are paying attention and had half a brain anticipated, and it's getting very real for many different people. The one thing that I want to say is remember who you are, and always remember that you were chosen for a time such as this. Things are getting ready to get real. Okay? Been real. Those of us who know we've been saw it. We've been smelt it and sniffed it out in the atmosphere. We been saw the cheese moving. Quien se ha llevado mi queso? But there's so many that miss that, and now things are about to get a lot more obvious, a lot faster. So remember that, again, everything that you've been through in life has prepared you for this. This is making me think of, imagine you've been training for something, right? Let's say you've been doing military training, and maybe you use virtual reality. Maybe you do certain things in the field, but you haven't been to war. Everything has been simulated. Everything has been practiced in a quote unquote safe environment. Well, imagine if all of a sudden this soldier has been training for a long time. Maybe they're the best from the virtual systems that they've used. Maybe they're the best from the things that they've done in terms of being out in the field and things of that nature. But now all of a sudden something changed to where it's like, look, we know that we told you was going to have a little bit more time, but we're sending you out to war. We're sending you out to fight. And let's say the first thing that might happen is for the soldier, like, man, I don't even know if I'm prepared for this. There's so many scenarios. Like, of course, in this environment, I'm killing it because I've faced the same types of things over and over, but I don't know if I'm ready for all-out war. Picture you being that soldier. And picture when you actually go to war and you get there. Yes, there were things that you didn't anticipate. Yes, there were things that you didn't experience verbatim. But everything that you did experience in training, everything that you did experience in quote unquote boot camp, gave you all the tools that you need to conquer, to be victorious, to bring home the win. This is many of you. And 2025 is not a year to second guess yourself. Let me get a no mo, okay? In the comments below, if you feel me. No more. NOMO. No more missed opportunities. Also, and most importantly, no more second guessing ourselves. As a chosen one, know who you are. You're ready. You have the mind. When you have the tools, see, think about yourself. Think about you as a chosen one, especially for those of you who I'm speaking to. Those of you who have been through things in life. Those of you who've been through many things, many of which that you've been through that you didn't even understand. Like, why did I go through this? Why did I have to go through so much pain, trauma, and drama throughout my life, even at an age that I couldn't even comprehend the things that I was going through? Why? This is because you are being given all the tools. Now, we don't have foresight. We can't see everything. We're meant to not be able to understand everything at all times. It will take the zest and the joy and the journey out of life, even though a lot of times, sometimes in the journey, it doesn't feel too joyous. But when we start to come to understand the ways of God, when we start to really realize that God's ways are higher than our ways, his thoughts are higher than our thoughts, as far away as the heavens is from the earth is the Lord's thoughts and ways above ours. When we start to begin and realize that, for we walk by faith, not by sight, truly at all times. And when we also realize that all things, Romans 8:28, work together for good for those who love God and have been called according to the purpose of God. When we realize all of these things, then we can start to think back and trace our steps and say, wait, hold on. If these things are true, this means that literally all of those things that I went through that I didn't understand, all of those enemies that I faced, whether it was in family, whether it was through friendships, whether it was just through people, arbitrary encounters in life, however I might have faced these things, I know that they had a purpose. They were giving me something. They were giving me a tool. They were giving me a benefit. They were giving me some type of wisdom, experience, or knowledge that was going to be necessary for me one day. Well, look, you're that one. Think of the chosen ones that I'm talking to as you being a toolbox with every type of tool that you could think of using. If there's any problems, no matter what it's related to, you are a toolbox that has all of these different things inside of you, all of these different ingredients that the only thing for you to do is actually put them together. This is the land, this is the territory the chosen ones are in. And the reason I wanted to depict it like that is because understand that we are moving into new territory. Not in terms of history. This is why history is important, because history does what? History repeats itself. So we're entering new territory, not in terms of there's not something new that's happening under the sun, but in terms of what we've experienced in our generation. The territory and the terrain that we're entering, this promised land that's been promised to us, understand that the righteous will inherit the wealth of the wicked. Don't let whatever's going on fool you right now. Okay, we know that we were going to have to enter a promised land, and now we're in that promised land. But remember, when they entered the promised land in the Bible, for those of you who are not familiar with what I'm talking about, Old Testament, when they entered the promised land, who was there? They entered the promised land. They were given the promised land. They were given the word. They were shown the vision. But who was in the promised land? Giants. And many of them were afraid. They were like, but Lord, how are we going to go there? These giants are way bigger than us. They're all of these things. How are we going to defeat these? And remember, what did the Most High say? Almighty said, I'm going to send you in there, but I'm also going to give you some strategy. Some strategy. So, in order for them to have been able to implement this strategy meant what? For them to be able to enact any form of strategy, they must at least have the tools, have the wherewithal to go about that strategy. That's many of you. We're entering a promised land. We're entering new territory. We're in a time where, of course, in the beginning, things are going to get a lot seemingly worse before they get better. But remember, it doesn't have to be for everybody. And this is why you have to stand on your word as a chosen one. Psalm 91, 1,000 may fall at my side, 10,000 in my right hand, but it will not come near me. I will only look with my eyes and see the recompense of the wicked. What people have done, especially in the United States, and even the people who participate globally, what people have done and what people have voted for in the United States, or the un-United States of America at this point, what they have voted for is they seal their own fate. They brought about their own judgment. Don't let yourself, as someone who you really did follow the reason, the voice, and the wisdom of the Most High, don't let other people's choices make you feel like you're going to get intertwined with that, because you're not. You're going to be protected amongst the storm. But not only are you going to be protected, for those of you who are here listening, you're going to be blessed amongst it too. And this is going to be a time where, again, we're entering new territory. So there's going to be new solutions. There are going to be innovations. Think about even something that's popular in the news right now that they're talking about, the DEI, which is what? Diversity, equality, and inclusion. They're putting it in this cute little package and saying, okay, we're doing away with this. But even when we talk about that and the people that that's going to affect, and the companies that have already jumped on the bandwagon of that, McDonald's, for one that I can think of, Walmart, Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, but particularly Walmart and McDonald's, which are two of my least favorite companies anyway. McDonald's hasn't seen me in over decades, to be exact. Okay, well, almost 2 decades to be exact. So anyways, these companies really don't have anything to offer in terms of the benefit of humanity too much anyway. But anyways, to not digress into that, I said that to say, as there are going to be certain doors closing, always remember to see, this is why I say, family, for my chosen ones, you better get excited every time you hear something crazy on the news. You better get excited every time you hear a new policy, because guess what? You were built for a time such as this, baby. This is what you were built for. This is what you've been prepared for. This is what you've been created for. As one door closes, what do we know? another door opens. But you know the beautiful thing about chosen ones, and especially in this season, I did a video called The Power of Three. Not only is for every door that is closing, is another door going to open, but every door that closes, there's going to be three more. And guess what? Many of the chosen ones, many of you are going to be the ones that are finding and allowing, well, not finding, but realizing these doors and opening them wide for others, i.e. the other chosen ones. Real, recognize real. Let people show their true colors, especially over this next term, over these next few years or whatever. Let people show their true colors. Just sit back and watch, because guess what? There will be a time where the tables have clearly turned. And the reason I say there will be a time where the tables have clearly turned is because, again, everything that you're witnessing right now is an illusion. It's dying. Remember, I had been talking about for years on Pretty Boss TV how celebrities were going to start getting exposed. Hollywood, how all of that's fake. All of this whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Y'all know I do not care for celebrities. As an individual person, I love all of them as in their individual selves. But when I'm talking about celebrities, I'm talking about the archetype, and I'm talking about the image that has been perpetuated amongst the masses, not people as individuals, okay? Even though a lot of those bots have gotten with the program and have done a lot of degeneration to current society. But I said all of that to say, you're going to start seeing, even right now, people that you feel are the most powerful position, these CEOs, these people, that. People are going to witness the true judgment of the Most High. The true judgment of the Most High God. And you know why it's happening? It's because it's happening through the chosen ones. The Spirit of God is running through the chosen ones. I don't want nobody in my comments talking about God has appointed anybody to save America. Because guess what? The only ones that God has appointed is chosen ones, and God is always working. Just never forget that when the people said, we want a king, because we don't know how to listen to God ourselves. We're bots. We want a king. Who did they give them? Who did they give them? They gave them Saul. But guess what? When there's a Saul that rises, baby, you know who else gets risen up? David. Okay? If I had a ministry, if I ever decided to build a church, do you know what my church will be called, baby? King David Ministries, straight up. For every Goliath, there's a David. And guess what? There's many chosen ones out here. Continue to focus. Continue to keep your mind on what the scripture tells you. Continue to keep your mind focused. Philippians 4:8. If there's anything worthy, if there's anything honorable, anything worthy of praise, focus on these things. Understand that there's only one living God. Don't idolize or worship anybody, and know that you as a chosen one, baby, the Spirit of God is going to move through you powerfully, and you have every tool that you need to enact these strategies that the Most High is getting ready to put and bless upon you. Shout out to everybody tuned in. Shout out to everybody who came to the masterclass. Totally epic. We have the mastermind group. If you are listening and you are in the masterclass and you attended, which everybody did show up, shouts out to everybody. Make sure that you go in the mastermind group, because I have some new things that I've posted in there. I'm going to be posting some very dope tutorials. Everything that I do, I'm going to be showing y'all right behind the scenes. So there's no excuses. No more excuses. All right. So just a shout out to y'all for that. However, no worries. I know many people are busy and some of y'all might be a little bit confused with Telegram. So I am going to be sending out a weekly newsletter to let you all know what are the new things in the mastermind group. With that being said, you can also access a lot of the business content on Patreon. Now, I don't even want to get into that right now because I have an announcement that I must drop immediately. Okay, I'm super excited to announce. Guess what we're doing? Okay, guess what our next event is right here on Pretty Boss TV, baby. Okay, we're doing a boot camp. We're talking about Money Manifestation Mastery, your first 1K online. Who wants to make their first 1K online? This is what we're doing. We're doing a 30-day intensive boot camp. Okay. And it's primarily the intensity of it is going to be it's going to be a certain 3-week period where we're doing certain things. And in that last week, we're going to be bringing things together. But this is a 30-day intensive boot camp. Those of you who are interested and those of you who want to sign up, you can find more information on prettybosstv.com. Anybody who's part of this boot camp is going to get my personal number to access so that we can go, because this is boot camp, this is coaching. And it's for those of y'all who are ready. Because let me tell you, I don't care what they're talking about money. I don't care what form money takes, whether the US dollar dies or this or that happens. Cheese is going to be moved, baby. But one thing is, there's always going to be some form of currency. There's always going to be some form of exchange. So when you get the tools, when you get the principles, it doesn't matter what changes. It doesn't matter what dollar, what this is in control or not in control. You will always have the skills that you need to succeed and thrive and take care of yourself in any stage of life. Even though we're going to be talking about getting your first 1K online, understand that the principles that we're going to be learning and doing, this can apply anywhere. This doesn't even just have to be online. But of course, we're saying that because many of you are interested in making money online, and you're going to be able to apply these principles easily. We're getting to it. For those of you who missed the masterclass and you want access to the masterclass bundle that also includes the Takeover 2025 workbook, Pretty Boss TV is where you can find everything, prettybosstv.com. I love you all so very much. For those of you who are ready and you on this no more missed opportunities, make sure you take advantage of that. I am going to have an introductory price only for 2 days only. And the reason I do this is because those of you who catch these videos, those of you who make it to the end, I want y'all to get in for the discount. But after that, I'm like, whoever's late to the videos, you came 2-3 days later, you missed out on the opportunity. Another thing about the boot camp, it's limited access. It's going to be capped off at a certain amount of students per, as I do everything, because I do like to be able to interact with you all on an individual level, and I have to be able to keep, a certain amount of people that I'm actually able to keep up with realistically within the month. February, we are going to be moving into our boot camp, so you'll be able to sign up for it. Those of you who sign up in February, you're going to be getting free resources that's sent out to you until we start on March 1st. March, to let y'all know already in advance over here on Pretty Boss TV, whether you're on YouTube or on Patreon, March is Money March, baby. Okay? Money March. Let these fools and buffoons play. They're scrambling right now. Don't let anybody fool you. Goliath is falling. Okay? The Roman Empire is falling. Babylon is out of here. Chosen ones, stand on what the Most High has shown you. And during these hard times where there's going to be a lot of things shifting, remember to stand strong. Remember to prosper. Remember, 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. You will only look with your eyes and see the recompense and the judgment of the wicked. I love you all so very much. Y'all can follow me on Instagram at I am Kendra Justine. I talk to y'all soon. Y'all willing. Peace.